Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why your silence reverberates through the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So your silence, this is empowering, it's deafening, it's life-saving, it empowers you, it puts up boundaries for you, it does so much for you post-narcissistic relationship. Again, when you were in the relationship, you didn't realize that you were being manipulated, that you were tricked and you were trapped, you were being groomed, you were being told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and that this person never cared about you. They cared about what you provided for them. So when you were doing things for this person who turned out to be the narcissist, you were an open book. And you had to be the open book because it was too late when you were in that relationship. You were already committed. You most likely have a high level of empathy, and you were doing everything transparently with the narcissist. You were telling them where you were, who you were with, what you were doing. You would be on time, you would cook, you would clean, you would pay bills, you would do everything that you were supposed to do and more. Because the more you did, the less they did. The less they did, the more you had to do. The more you had to do, the less there was for you, for yourself. And this is why you were always reporting back to the narcissist. This is why you became the unpaid helper, the walking apology, the sounding board, and so many more hats of what you wore. But when you were being abused and manipulated in that relationship, number one, you weren't taught this in school. You didn't know what you were up against. Number two, you most likely were caught up in the trauma bond. Number three, you were loyal and committed, and you believed that you could fix the unfixable relationship. You thought that you could handle the toxicity. You thought that a rage fit became normalized and it wasn't such a big deal any longer, and the doors being slammed in your face or you being told that you'll never amount to anything, it wasn't such a big deal. Well, all of these behaviors and all this abuse adds up, and it is as if it is death by 1,000 paper cuts. Nobody, and I mean nobody on the planet, is immune to toxicity. Back then you didn't know what you know now. You didn't realize that you shouldn't be consuming verbal abuse. You didn't even know what financial abuse was. You didn't know what spiritual abuse was. You knew what physical abuse was, but you didn't know what the other types were. You didn't have the definitions on the narcissistic abusive behaviors. Example, you didn't know what gaslighting was. You didn't know what stonewalling was. You didn't know what the silent treatment was, and so many more. But then again, you didn't know what narcissism was. Now you do. Now you're understanding that everybody on the planet isn't the same. And many people do not have your best interest at heart, and at the top of that list is certainly the narcissist. Fewer and fewer people are what I call an empath. Yes, empaths exist, I am one, but toxicity is everywhere. Toxicity is more than a dime a dozen. It's more like, it's a lot cheaper than that, which means it's everywhere. It's in your school, it's in your neighborhood, it's at work, it's in traffic, it's on planes, it's in restaurants, it's everywhere. Now, by no means am I saying everyone is the narcissist, quite the opposite. I am saying that you need to become awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and you need to realize that your silence will do the talking for you, and the silence will reverberate through the pea brain, the small brain of the narcissist, and it will echo louder and louder and louder. The sooner you go no contact, the sooner you block that person, the sooner you get off the radar of them and begin to have a small footprint and heal properly. When you were in the relationship, you were over-explaining, you were oversharing, you were an open book, and you thought that this person who perhaps you loved or fell in love with or cared about considerably, that they were going to change or improve or actually show you that they did actually want your best interest at heart. Well, now you know that they don't care about you. They only cared about what you provided. And once they get and or got whatever they wanted from you, that's when they usually would discard you or discard a person, which means crumble them up like a sheet of paper, throw them away on a freeway, not literally but figuratively, and hope that that person never figures out who the narcissist was. Well, you have to understand that this is what the narcissist does. This is why they need access to people. This is why they want to leave doors of communication open with people so they can kick them wide open at a later date. This is why the narcissist doesn't give closure. This is why the narcissist cannot introspect or elevate or ascend or be accountable or have a genuine or heartfelt apology, meaning, I'm sorry, I can't believe I did that, what was I thinking? You will never, and I mean never, in the history of this planet, ever get that from a toxic person. They don't have it in them to give. And you may say right now, what are you talking about? Like, all it takes is a couple simple words, like, I'm sorry, I apologize, I was wrong. Well, for you, it's simple because you're an empath and because you can feel. The narcissist can't feel what you feel. That's why they want to inflict damage upon people. That's why they want to extinguish people. That's why they want people to off themselves. That's why they want to keep people stuck in that zombie-like, trance-like state, which is known as the narcissistic fog. This is why the narcissist collects people. This is why the narcissist many times is a hoarder. This is why the narcissist doesn't sleep that often, because they're always on one of their 3 smartphones looking for supply, looking for your replacement, looking for the next new shiny object, looking for the next opportunity, looking for the next event to attend, the next wardrobe to wear, the next plane to jump on. The narcissist can't sit still. They're always on the go, go, go. They're always looking for something. They're always searching for something that they will never find. And once they get something that they were after, they don't want it any longer because it's no longer a challenge. The narcissist likes to use something which is called catch and release, which means this: catch people, trap them, trick them, manipulate them, and if those people actually break free and maybe even didn't figure out what narcissism was, they just wanted to get out of that relationship, well, then that's why the narcissist would hoover these people. Catch and release, catch and release. Now, it's not that way with all of these toxic narcissists. It's the way it is with some of them. That's why you must maintain your boundaries. You must maintain no contact, and you must block and delete anyone, and I mean anyone, who is 1, 2, 3 steps away from the narcissist. Because anybody, and I do mean anybody, can be a flying monkey. Flying monkey can be anything from a child who doesn't even know that they are a flying monkey to a best friend of yours who may or may not be sharing intel about you, your hair color, who you're dating, and how you're looking with the narcissist. Remember, I shared with you, the flying monkeys, many times they know they are a flying monkey, many times they don't. Many times the flying monkey is just an innocent person passing on information. And this is why you need to really understand that not everybody is who they claim to be, and not everybody has your best interest at heart. And again, at the top of that list is the narcissist. Now, having said all these things, why your silence will reverberate through the mind of the narcissist, it's because they're not accustomed to having somebody go off the grid, go off the radar, block them. And when you block the narcissist and you are proactive, or if you do it even after they blocked you, that sends a clear, succinct message to 2 people. 1, the narcissist, and 2, to you. This is when you block them. Number 1, when you block the narcissist, let's say they didn't block you, but you blocked them first, which is a good thing. You should do that. It sends a clear, succinct message to them that you're not participating in the antics or the games or the abuse or the manipulation or the mask any longer. You want nothing to do with them or their behaviors. That is what you must do. It also sends a clear, succinct message to you. And do you know what that does for you? Yes, and this is why I'm smiling, because it tells you, yes, you who's watching the video, it tells you, yeah, I'm strong enough. I did it. I blocked them. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bad. I want nothing to do with that person or those people any longer. And I took action. I hit the B button. I blocked them. And you know what? It may sting for a few days, maybe a week or so. Eventually, you're going to realize that you're going to get more sleep. Your health will return, your clarity will return, your energy will return. You won't be checking your phone as much, and your silence will be reverberating through the tiny little pea brain of the narcissist. Because when the narcissist looks at their smartphone, they realize you blocked them. Number 1, they're going to say, how is that possible? I don't get it. Number 2, they're going to think, oh, this is just short term. They're going to unblock me, just like everybody else has, and we'll play the blocking game. Block, unblock, unblock, block, block, unblock, unblock, block. Well, no, that's not what you're doing. Maybe you did that in the past. Truth be told, I didn't do that, but many people have done that. It doesn't matter. We're all on the healing path, headed in the same direction, simply taking different footsteps. But when you are playing the blocking game with the narcissist, they are feeding off of that. They don't think the way you think. They're not thinking, oh, that person hurt my feelings and they blocked me, so I just want to get them back. They're not thinking that at all. They're thinking, yep, the person, which was you probably, but possibly not, this person isn't strong enough, and they think they know what they're doing, but they don't. That's why when you block and you unblock and block and unblock, A, the narcissist is watching. Trust me, they are. B, they're saying, yep, you think you're strong, but you're not. And C, they're saying, I'll play these games all day long, because if I look at my and I'm acting like this, the narcissist, but I'm not. If I look at my smartphone and I see you blocked me, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever, you blocked me. I still have 35 other people I can talk to, or get in a romantic relationship, or have them pay for lunch, or put a roof over my head, or give me their car, or whatever. And you will just keep injuring yourself by blocking and unblocking. Then let's say I check my smartphone again tomorrow. Again, I'm acting like the narcissist, but I'm not. And you unblock me. Then I'm saying, yeah, that's what I thought. It would take one day. You unblocked me. Now I'll try to punish you, or send you a picture of us from 30 years ago, or send a cryptic message that only you will understand, or send a message that was intended for you, but using another person's name, saying that I am taking them or they're taking me to our favorite restaurant, but it's meant for you to read, but I'm just using someone else's name, so now it punishes you even more. I hope you follow what I'm sharing with you. You see, the narcissist doesn't think the way you think. They think the polar opposite. They think in terms of gaining, of taking and taking and taking and destroying and crushing and manipulating. You think in terms of growth, togetherness, peacefulness, abundance, and prosperity. That's not what they think. They think, how can I take advantage of this person? How can I twist them and turn them into me or somebody like me? How can I get them to stay trapped in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog, as long as I've had other people trapped there? And what can I do to continue to pepper them with abuse? So that's why when you're playing the blocking, unblocking game, it just feeds the narcissist. It doesn't help you out at all. So when you're ready, and by now you should probably know, or maybe this is the first video you're consuming, when you're ready and you finally block them, keep them blocked. It will serve you greatly. And that's when the silence of your actions will reverberate in their mind, and they will be checking their phone tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next few weeks, the next month, and so on. And they'll be saying, how is that possible? How did that person who is you, how did they maintain the blocking? How did they go no contact? How did they do that? I don't have access to them any longer. They used to send me boots. They used to send me food. They used to pay for my kids' tuition. They used to give me money for rent, although I would buy cigarettes and alcohol with it. They used to send me money so I could feed it to my mom or my sisters in a different country, but I would keep it for myself because I have a gambling problem. Who knows what the narcissist does? But what they tell you is not the truth. They will tell whatever song and dance they want to feed to somebody to take whatever they can from them. So once you finally get the message, stop sending them money, stop peeking on their social, eventually block them, let your silence reverberate through their tiny little brain. Once you realize that, it's a good thing. Again, it may sting for a while, but eventually you will figure out that that's the best decision you ever made in your life, and exiting the narcissistic relationship, no matter how it ended, whether you were discarded or you ended it yourself. Either way, getting out of that relationship was one of the best things, not that you had to experience, but to help you gain your clarity back, because that relationship was going to end one way or the other, because each and every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. You're learning that, you're understanding it. So to say the word reverberate is very challenging. You should try and say it 3 times fast. Reverberate, reverberate, reverberate. But having said that, that's what happens with the narcissist. It's all the echoes of the silence in their mind from them not having access to you, from them sitting on a couch somewhere with their current source of supply, who is not giving them what they need. In other words, they don't have what you have. They don't have the empathy, the love, the attention, the adoration, or all that. The new supply, hypothetically, is just sitting there like a bump on a log. Maybe they're beaten down, maybe they're not. But I can tell you right now, they are not you. They're not cut from the same cloth. There's no way they are. But having said that, then you cross the narcissist's mind, because they're scouring through their old numbers in their phone, and they don't see your name, or they see your name, but it's blocked. However it works these days on phones, I don't even know. But then they said, wait, whatever happened to that one? Oh, that one, which is you, is the one that got away. That's the strong one. How did that person ever do it? I have no idea. But they're done. They're out. They blocked me. They took control. I lost. They won. I'm talking, the narcissist is thinking this. And now, if I'm acting like the narcissist, and again I am, I'm sitting on the couch next to the new supply, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, yawn, this person, I had it so much better when I had that other person in the jaws of the narcissistic relationship. This person, there's nothing to them. There's no energy. Well, that's just one example of who the new supply could be. Maybe the new supply is somebody different. I can't tell you. What I can tell you is it doesn't matter who the new supply is. It doesn't matter where the narcissist is or what they're doing. What matters is that you have your mind back. You have your mindset. You have your purpose, your direction, your health, your clarity, and you now understand how toxicity has infiltrated your life and crept into your pores, your aura, and your spirit. And now it's all out, but now you have the wisdom, and with this wisdom is a newfound superpower, and that newfound superpower, with it comes a great responsibility, which is you need to now have boundaries, maintain them, go no contact, learn to say no, the strongest word in the English language, and remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. Play that and play it a few times. But all these things equal one big message for this video. Your silence speaks volumes. Your silence protects you. Your silence sends a message to the narcissist, and now you know it sends a message to you. And your silence is what strengthens you. The further you get away from the narcissist and the narcissistic relationship, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the clearer your mind gets. The clearer your mind gets, the less they matter. The less they matter, the less control they have over you. The less control they have over you, the more you understand what has happened to you. The more you understand that, Then eventually you realize, oh my gosh, I am so fortunate to be out of that pit of hell. I'm so fortunate to be out of that relationship, and now I can take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book, travel the world, fall in love again. I can do whatever I want to on my timeline, because where you've been in this life, specifically in that narcissistic relationship, you deserve to live in an abundant, toxic, narcissistic-free rest of your life. And that's either what you've done or are about to do or are doing. Any way you cut it, your silence will reverberate through the tiny little brain of the narcissist forever, because you are the one that got away. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And realize this before I close the video. No, I do not wish ill will upon anybody. I haven't my whole life. I'm not going to start now. 2, silence. You may say, well, that's kind of rude, and that's kind of, it's not really the right path to be doing that. No, it is. You need to conserve your energy. You need to get your cup full, and you need to understand that being in that relationship for 1 second longer than you needed to is 1 second too long, and you found the wisdom. You cracked the code. You found the needle in a haystack. Now the onus is on you. You need to have a small footprint. You need to not overshare. You need to trust your instincts and your intuition and pay attention to red flags. And you need to let the narcissist slither away off into the darkness or onto other sources of supply, wherever they are, as long as they stay away from you. Just stay away from you. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.